Ma'am?
Hello. I don't know what it is, but your thing, it always takes a long time to let me know that you're in the in the waiting room.
Okay, no problem. I don't know.
All
Um, okay,
right.
so it's my turn, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, um, some news. Obviously, Tesla and Netflix reported today in the aftermarket. And as you can see, the shares went up and have been going down since the report because I think Elon Musk was saying some things in the call that were not too positive, but we shall
Aren't you
see.
looking at Netflix?
Sorry, I'm Netflix, but the same thing happened to whatchamacallit. The same thing happened to Tesla. They went down. Both things, Netflix and Tesla, both went down in the aftermarket. Sorry about that. I apologize. Okay, so the winners of today um, is Carvana, and obviously this is a squeeze. It's a hard buy.
Please,
Peloton, excuse
can
me?
we see Tesla aftermarket again?
Yes, ma'am.
See.
And Netflix.
You
Okay,
can you show it on a minute for Tesla?
sure. Hold on, I have to put the post market here.
Grazie. That's shocking.
He said some things in the call that may have induced this, I
Uh,
believe, when I was reading. And I'll have to go back again. But yes.
all right.
May I continue?
Yes.
Okay, so as I was saying, Carvana, it goes up to 42, it went up the yin yang to 56.68, and it was 42.41%. Peloton, this is a good deal. 969, getting closer to the 10 range. I think it's a good one to get. And I think it was brought up by these meme stocks and Carvana going up. Bank of America did well. EBC beautifully we went up 2.27% after I got off, of course, but and Macy's, American Airlines. Um, the losers, Nestle, Open, ASML, and Tesla, and Caro. Although I didn't really feel this Caro. Those were the losers of the day. Okay, so let's get this party started. Okay, so let's look at this on a daily. Okay, so as we have always been saying, American Airlines is continuing its trajectory upward momentum. It will soon reach 20 at some point. It's just, it did a little dip, but now it's starting to go back up again. It didn't have it did had a decent day, 1.17% up. Sorry. Apple, manzana. Um, looks like it's 193.73. It reached a high of 198.23. So I think it will soon hit the 200 mark. There's really no stopping this train. There's no really support. It's just it bounces, it keeps on going up, stepping up, stepping up. So until there's a wall that it hits, that's when things will start to get down. AMD, it's 115.50. the trajectory, just like Apple, is upward. It did a little bounce down, but now, it never hit the 50 period. It kind of touched it a little bit, but it didn't go past it. So this tells you that it's going to continue until maybe potentially here, but we shall see what happens. The chips are kind of a little bit strong still. And tech overall. Amazon, 134.47. It had a decent day, 1.23%. It's kind of creating a little area of support here. I would, like I was saying before, I think it's gonna get to this 140 area before it maybe does a little rejection. But if things go as they've been doing, the next area that I could see potentially is 160 area. Okay, so ASML went cuckoo today. It's on hard buy. It had a really, really negative day, negative 5.29%, and it just went down all day. So if you were shorting this, you made some really good dinero. You got it at the 742, so that's close to $30, something like that. AZO, hard buy. I don't know why.
Can
This
you show ASML real quick on the daily again? I just want
Sure.
the trends. So it's going up. Where's the blues? If you scrunch
Oh,
it,
it had earnings today. Let's look at the earnings. So, why didn't they put, oh, so earnings came as expected. There was no surprise or something?
revenue.
Yeah, sorry, revenue.
So the outlook must be bad or something like that.
Yeah, this I'll put this on the notes. Let me put notes, research ASML just to see why it went down so much dramatically. Was this the aftermarket? Let's look.
I have to look it up.
No, it looked like it was all day. It was before market because it just went down all day. Yeah. Yeah, yes. Okay. So yeah, based on this, it's starting to curve. It could potentially start going down, but we shall see what happens tomorrow. But if it didn't necessarily hit the 50 period, but it could go below it and this could start to trend down. It is on hard buy. Okay, we did AZO. I mean, it is kind of going down. Kind of. Mm. Nothing else to see here, but just the mountain range of Boeing. And I have to congratulate it because it's just flat. You can just trade it between here and here, and you're going to make some money. Bank of America, man, this went cuckoo today. Extras,
Dun
2.31%.
dun dun dun.
Just as we had said, 30 from $30 now up about 31.41%. So that means EBC, all the banks did very, very well today. Caro, is the trend is very strong upward. It is crossing down though. It looks like it did the cross though. So I think that's good for us. It's starting to cross, hopefully cross down. It had a negative day of negative 2.990. So we'll see. I hope that it curves. We'll skip Chewy costs, and we already looked at Carvana. And as you can see, it had earnings today. And this is just a big lie. Because if you look at the numbers, and I have some articles here, this thing is gonna go to the bottom of the ocean soon.
It's screwing me right
Yeah, it could potentially even get to 60 to squeeze
now. Yeah.
people more, which is
Fanatic.
expected. But if you know what we know, and we're gonna, have some supporting arguments here, this will eventually turn around. Dashity dash. Man, this thing has been very, very strong. $85, almost close to, sorry, $84, 84. So it passed, kind of passing this level now. The next level that I see would be here at this 110. And tech stocks are doing good. We shall see what the earnings say. I expect that there will be a good rejection here at the $100 range if it gets up there. Let's see, Dickies. Okay, bouncing off the 50. Sorry, but yeah, bouncing off the 50, like it's trying to go up. We had opportunities 3 times and we didn't take it. I think it's going to continue to go down because this is curving downward. So it may be a good opportunity if it does, does a little bounce up. And let's say it gets to 135,
This is what
137.
debt does to you. It makes you not take obvious play like Dick's and Dollar Tree because
And
you
it is, mm-hmm, and it is on hard buy. Okay.
another
Speaking of
obvious play.
another obvious play that we didn't take. Let's look at
Dollar
speaking of the devil, Dollar Tree. And even though the trend has crossed down, this thing is going up and it's going to fill the gap. And then once it fills the gap, it will turn around.
You can say that again.
And that's where you should short it at 155. But you
Absolutamente.
but you can still make a little bit profit from 150 to 155. You could potentially long it and make some dinero. Okay. Okay, so I should have stayed in my play for another day or so, but now I have money and I'm not so stressed. But this thing is doing very, very, very well. I think as you saw, it filled this little gap here. It will even fill this gap. And I can see that maybe this perhaps would be an area of rejection because it's an area of support. It had a lot of days just bouncing, 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 bouncing here before it rejected. So I anticipate that it could potentially get up here and then be rejected. But that's just me.
I wonder if tomorrow could be a down day a little bit so we could buy into
Oh yeah, I don't doubt it. It already filled this gap. And this is an area of where there's a lot of resistance from the buyers and the sellers. So that there shouldn't be a surprise if there's a little bit of rejection mañana. Yes. Freshy Fresh Pet. According to this, it was a down day, but you can see it's still going down. But I feel like now this thing is gonna start curving down. However, I could be wrong. But time will tell. And this thing is still not
why not?
making
We've been waited a freaking million years.
it's still losing dinero and it shall continue losing dinero.
Like
And
I
that's where
said, we waited a million years for this, so why not go down now?
yes. Okay, googly eyes or Google. Not the greatest of dias, negative 1.51%. It's still in this range, I would say. It's you could kind of say if it goes past the 50, perhaps it'll start, it might get to here before it goes back again in this range, just like BA. The tech stocks are still very, very strong. So yeah, uh, that's Google for you. Okay, Home Depot. Oh, it's hitting this range that we have identified as a sort of a rejection area, I guess. Um, I think it might get up to here in the next couple of weeks or so.
The way the
Um,
market is, you can't short anything
yes,
until
so
340.
I think it's gonna get up there because the trend is moving upward in upward direction. It wants to get near up here because the bear market just kind of level set and get at least up here or even here. We shall see, but time will tell. Intelligente here, moving upward. I'm out of that, so I don't care. We'll see. Macy's. Macy's is moving upward with the market. I think it's going to continue an upward trend. We missed the boat on this again. We should have just bought it at 15 and held it, but we didn't. And that's it. Mika D's, another train wreck. Just try to buy a dip at some point. I really do wish it would get down here to this 265 range, but the way things are going, I don't know if this will ever go down. Ah, Meta. Okay, so it broke our 300 range as we had predicted. We are thinking that we'll get to 350, or at least we want to observe it really close when it gets to this 335, 345 range to see what happens. Is an area of support that could potentially be an area of resistance. Again, it's very, very, very extended. At some point, it does have to pull back, but the way things are going now, they just want to, bring things to the top so then they could pull the rug. And we just have to play it out, get jump on the train, but get out quickly and just wait until you can short it. But yes, you can jump on the train up, but make sure you get out the same day. Softy. So it didn't hit the high, but there was some news on this. I forgot what the news was, that made it shut up. I think it might be the Activision or something with AI, or I don't know, I forget. But it did have an upward momentum at the beginning of the day, I believe, and then it started to go down. Yes, so Softy. It was up a little bit, then went down, got back right up, and then it started to dip down like cray at the most of the, I would say after 12 o'clock. I would have been a good short. Nefli, not the greatest of days as we had outlined, negative 7.2% at the moment. And even in the after hours, if reported, it still went down the gutter. Oh, it went down, not the gutter, but Nvidia, as you can see, the text didn't have the greatest of day. In this, I think this was also brought by Nefli and Tesla and stuff. So, okay, open. The high was 452 and the low was 414. So if you grab the high and you kind of, waited most of the day, if you just jumped in the train, you would have made a really good dinero. And even in the aftermarket, all the way down here, you could have rode it to 407. So Piton was pulling a Carvana and just
I
went
guess
up.
open is back up to its old tricks again.
Yes. So if we look at open on the last couple of dias, it did exactly what we had predicted. Hit the 5, boom, went down. I think it's still gonna go back up, but it's in the last couple of days at least. It might get. I think this area might be an area where it will, start picking back up again. So Peloton and Bana probably don't look exactly alike, but this was very exaggerated today, and I'm kind of glad I got out of it. I made a positive dinero when I hit the press here that I had. Now it's a good buying opportunity. If it even gets to 10, I would probably uh get it at 10. It's would be a good potential short there. Riviano, is still bouncing around here, trying to, it squeezed a lot of people if they were shorting it. It should fill this gap at some point. The trend is still down, but the 200 is trying to pick up. But yes, it should at some point start going down. This gap definitely should be filled, and this gap should definitely be filled. With the Cybertruck and stuff, Tesla, this could get it back to its old range. Starbucks had a decent day, 1.02%. This is an area of support here. It might start, which is here. It's a little bit above it. It's crossing upward. Well, it's crossing down. So this could potentially go down at some point, but it is above the 50. But yes, this could be a good one to kind of see if it bounces back up here and maybe go down. Target. It's just being flat in this area. Between the range is 130, I would say 128 and 138. Actually 135. So yeah, just not really doing that much movement. Tractor Supply Company. So yeah, this thing is going down. It's going down. We shall see what happens in the earnings. For most of the year, it was up. Since September, it was above the both lines, the 50 and the 200. And now it's under both of them. So yeah, this thing is going to go down, and I think it might, reach down here potentially. Okay, Stressla. Um, according to the daily trend, is still very, very, very strong. It is in a area of an area here that we had identified as a rejection area. Um, so with the news, I don't think the earnings were too bad, but he was talking some stuff that made it oops, that made it go negative. But it's still in this zone, and Tesla can be very deceiving. It could, be like down like crazy now, and then tomorrow be up like 350. Who knows?
You can say that again.
So I would not I would take this with a grain of salt and just kind of uh, be cautious.
Especially when their earnings really wasn't bad from what I heard.
Exactly. It wasn't bad at all. It
Yeah,
was just
so
certain
it was
certain
kind of
certain areas. So this tells you that this could potentially shoot up. And if it breaks this area, the next area that I could see is 336 to 350. So, this is deceiving because the numbers are telling you one thing, but, he was saying some other stuff. So we shall see what happens tomorrow. Tomorrow is another roulette tiempo. Uberlicious. I also glad I got out of this because if not, I would have been very, very negativo. Very, very negativo. I think it's gonna hit the 50. Oh, well, surpass the 50 now. So yeah, so 50 between 51 and 50 and 51. It should get there soon. I'm not sure when the next earnings are, August 1st. California, I think, won the lawsuit against that they had or whatever with Uber, and I think that's what's making it shut up. But I think that should be a rejection point because the company's still losing dinero. But soon maybe it'll start being cash positive. So that's something to be uh okay. So this is killing me. It already passed kind of this, sort of. We shall see what happens. I have to get out at some point if it continues on this, but the company is still losing dinero. So hopefully things turn around for me. Let's look at this. Airbnb was the loser. Ford, Zillow, General Electric, and IBM. IBM had earnings today. Let me just look at IBM for a second. So yeah, IBM also kind of pulled it looks exactly like Netflix and Tesla. So it kind of they all went down in the aftermarket. Upstart. Okay, so this was extra today. Let's look at the daily or daily. Okay, so it's been having man, a really, really great, excellent July. So since the beginning of July till now, 19 days in a row, up, 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 up. This is abnormal. So maybe it will fill this gap. Upstart.
Why
Interessante.
are we talking about this?
I just don't, I just, we had it on the list and it did well today. That's all I'm saying.
Was the last time you traded this? I didn't even know you had it on the list.
I had it on the list. I don't, it just popped out. Okay. Let's look at Spice. 3.92%. It had a decent day, but it's still below the 50, below the 200. So you know this thing is gonna go down. Beyond Meaty, it had a good day. And I think this was because it was playing off Carvana. And that's all I have. Nothing else to talk about other than those. Unless you want me to look at something specifically. Let's see, Affirm. Also
Nah, I
did
got
well.
nothing.
It did very well. Okay, so EBC did well. Bank of America did well. So it might do a little pullback mañana, and maybe that's a potential dip for people, and they could buy it. And then the next couple of weeks, you know, it could go back, go up there. And that's it. And I do have some articles on Vana, but I'm kind of tired and I don't want to read them.
Good.
But this one is a good one to read for y'all out there. Carvana strikes a deal to avert cash crunch. And also this one, Carvana debt swap. That wasn't good news. Okay. So this is a good one to read if
We
y'all
can
find
talk
it.
about this on my thing tomorrow. When I review,
Okay.
I'll do a quick review, and then we'll have time to talk about this. Kind
Basically, in a nutshell, they
of.
are trying to get rid of that, but not in a good way. So that's it.
You're preaching to the choir. We already know this, but maybe the outsiders, maybe they don't know yet that Carvana is a fake company. I shouldn't say that. That would be bad. Well, I can say that that would be bad, and that's my personal opinion. This is for not educational, but entertainment purposes only. So if I say they're fake company, that's my opinion.
This is not investment advice, y'all, but Carvana's not looking good. That's all we're gonna say for now. We'll get more details mañana.
Shorty, short, short.
Shorty, short, short, short. Shorty, short, short. Okay, and that's all I have for today.
Okay, bueno. The gentes, they're getting
Huh?
ready for escuela mañana.
They're upstairs.
Okay, all right. They're being very silencio or tranquila.
Because you have to be if you want to be able to have a meeting, or else you're not gonna listen to anything.
Yeah, no, it's still amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I like this new approach you're taking, reading Barron's and the Wall Street Journal. It's veggie. It's very good of you.
This is something that I'm bringing to the table for us and our folks. So, you know, if you see a certain article, we could, you know, read it real quick. Sometimes it's a 5 minute read or whatever, 3 minute. I'll try to get like 3 minute read things or like summary, but yeah.
Yes, if you
No,
get
just bring
an
it.
article or something, um, maybe even something that you would like E here to check out, since she's the one who's checking out stuff now. I may eventually do this, but for right now, I'm gonna be off the wagon. But so yeah, just put it in the comment section and make a request, and in someone's leisure, they will take a look. So, especially if it's interesting to us and we talk about it when we trade it. If it's something like, you know, some gold stock or something that we never look at, we're gonna be in please. So yeah. Other than that
This was also a good one that I found. Carvana stock has gained 1,000%, but it might not, but it might not. And so, yeah, that's another one that I found. So
oh,
that's what?
oh, creativity cough is so funny. Um,
It's a really good one. It
okay,
might not last.
we have to get this thing working where we can hear the what you call it. I want to be able to hear this thing. I like. Let me see. Let me
Can you
see.
hear that?
You didn't press play though.
Well, I did, but I guess you didn't hear it.
I don't see what's the play. Shouldn't it show us playing?
Video settings. Let me see. I'm trying to figure it out. Audio. Okay. I had done it before.
I know you have. I think I have too, but I know you have, and it was recent.
Geez, you would think I would have a good memory regarding this.
It's
I think it
something
was
about
I think it
newbies.
was here. It was here somewhere. Share sound. I got it here. I think it was here somewhere.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, let's see if you can hear it.
Yeah, I heard something.
Carvana stock has gained
Woohoo!
1,000%. Why?
That's it. There you go. That's where it is. So we have to remember that it's here
Okay. All right.
on
So
the
can we listen to this one since it's 4 minutes? Do we have
man.
4 minutes and then we can KAT?
Okay, fine. This one is better though.
Well, okay, whatever. Just pick one. So we won't lose the 4 minutes. Just
Carvana strikes deal to avert cash crunch. Used car seller will sell stock and pledge assets to back new debt. By Ben Foldy. July 19, 2023, 4:23 p.m. Eastern Time. Online used car dealer Carvana is taking a buy now, paid later approach to resolve a long-running standoff with its lenders and relieve a looming cash crisis. The company said Wednesday that it would exchange some of its outstanding bonds for new notes that would allow it to delay some of Carvana's interest payments over the next 2 years. Unlike the old debt, the new notes will be secured by the company's assets. The company will also issue $350 million in new shares, with Chief Executive Ernie Garcia III and his father Ernie Garcia II, the company's biggest shareholder, required to purchase $126 million of the offering. Company executives said Wednesday that the equity sale will provide cash to help pay creditors in the debt exchange. The cash-strapped car dealer had been struggling with the bloated debt load the company took on from lenders like Apollo Global Management to finance years of breakneck growth. When the company's sales growth slammed the brakes last year, shares tanked and Carvana hired restructuring advisors with a reputation for aggressive tactics. To facilitate the exchange, Carvana also rushed out its quarterly earnings, which had been scheduled for next month. The company said early Wednesday it sold 76,530 cars between March and June, a 35% drop compared with the same period last year. Carvana reported narrowing its quarterly loss to $105 million compared with $439 million last year, as its turnaround campaign has focused on reducing the startup's voracious appetite for cash. Carvana shares surged 40% to $55.80. The jump adds to the company's torrid run in 2023, which has seen its shares increase roughly tenfold from beginning the year at $4.74. That optimism from investors had diverged sharply, however, from debt investors, who had been pricing in the significant risk of default. The company's shares are still around 85% off from their 2021 record high of $3.70. That surge has come as Carvana executives champion gross profit per unit, a profitability metric that goes beyond traditional accounting principles. The metric is calculated by dividing the company's gross profit by the number of cars sold. Much of Carvana's gross profit comes from selling the loans it provides to car buyers to banks or debt investors. Last winter, the company held more of its loans on its books than usual. In the past quarter, the company began selling the stockpiled loans while selling fewer cars, supercharging the metric. Carvana executives said Wednesday that the loan buildup persists into the third quarter. Carvana also said that its gross profit benefited from a one-time inventory allowance. The company used a similar allowance last quarter to improve its gross profitability metric. On a call with analysts, Carvana Chief Financial Officer Mark Jenkins said the two non-recurring items accounted for roughly 45% of the company's reported adjusted earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization. After the big-ticket purchase, the company reported a loss of $1.6 billion in 2022, including an $847 million goodwill impairment. Under the terms of the new exchange deal, the Garcias and Carvana agreed to pay for expenses that the creditors incurred over the past year as they formed an unconventional pact to cooperate with one another in negotiations with the company and the family. Investors and analysts praised the deal. Brian Nagel, an analyst from Oppenheimer, opened his question by congratulating the executives on the quarter. Garcia 3 said that it's about the third congratulations in our public life. So it means more to us than you know. Write to Ben Foldy at ben.foldy@wsj.com.
So
Corrections and amplifications. Carvana's gross profit per unit metric is calculated by dividing the company's gross profit by the number of cars it sold. An earlier version of this article incorrectly said it was by
Oh. So yeah, it's a little bit misleading because you would think it's a good thing, but it's actually a really bad thing. So that's why you have to read a couple of articles like the one that I showed you first. So yeah, we'll continue this saga mañana.
To be continued. Gracias,
To,
senora.
to be continued.
Peace out, and I'll see you guys later.
Can you send me the notas?
Yeah, I'll send them. It's in the chat. I'll send it.
Thanks, ma'am. Have a good night. Talk to you later.